sky for you. And the tears in my eyes are for you. Yes, I cry these tears for you.
It goes on and on and on, I'm here for you. It goes on and on and on, I live for you. It goes on and on and on, I'm here for you. It goes on and on, yeah. We can start out with talking about what are you doing, or what have you done to help you stay on course, throughout this journey in life. Like what have, and as I said, I want to talk, so we're all areas of your life. Like you mentioned so many things right now, from spiritual, mental, physical. Spiritual, you have this journey with God. Mental, you've been talking about, hey, you're doing certain things, when at least maybe earlier in your life where you were kind of going to these treatment centers, clinics, the medication, even talking about physical. You mentioned the gym, you know what I mean? So you got I'm sure all of these play a huge role in helping you kind of stay on course. Yeah. So what, and this is a great point for the audience too. Like they want to know, okay, wow, all right, so I kind of get his story. He's been through these things. All right, these are the things that helped transition him, change his life. Right. Okay, now that he's there and he's doing well, how does he keep going? Like how does he keep it going? What is he doing? What is he thinking of? Like what? Because I'm sure there's people in that position too where they're like, wow, okay, yeah, I'm here. I did it. I feel good. I feel great. All right, but how do I keep the steam going? How do I keep
the fire inside?
Exactly.
So,
like what is advice, tips, things that as I said, all areas, spiritual, physical, mental, like full package, right?
So I could start at 23. Maybe I've been with my pastor for maybe 4 or 5 months in 2017, from July to December and stuff. Okay, 2018 comes. So I turned 24. So at 24, yes, I still having a hard time. I was going through, but I seen process little by little, and God was making sure that yes, He's there for me, but He wants me to do my part as well, and He wanted me to know that I was never alone, that He was always there for me. So something that helped me get where I needed to get from 24 to now was, to be honest, was the gym. Get my mind right, because when you go to gym, it's a stress reliever. It builds your character, makes you feel good about yourself. So, but when I was on certain medications, it made me gain so much weight. So when I gained so much weight, I started getting depressed. I started getting anxiety, and I felt like life was kicking back again. When I was like 24, I went up to 211 pounds. So I was 211. That was 2018 of January. By the end of that year, I went down to like 156. But let me tell you the process though. When I was in January, it was like, okay, I gotta get myself right. Let me keep doing what I gotta do. I might not be where I wanna be, but I'm making process to be where God wants me to go. And then the thing is that one of my things that helped me was going to the gym. Then it was getting right with Jesus, and really, 2023, I got the message that I'll never be alone, and I got the message when my pastor talked about my brother. So that fueled me to keep going. And that made me go, okay, I this is what happened. Now in 2018, let me change a few things up and really keep going. I probably, from 2018 to probably 2020, remember 2020 was COVID of March.
Yeah.
So I was in the gym. I remember we had a workout. It was me, you, and your father. I believe that was like 2019, the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I believe. And the thing is that what kept me sane, what kept me in place was the gym. My body got more developed. My body got better. I started being more happy because I seen change. And once you see change, you're like, I bet, like you're more hyped up, and you want to just keep going.
Motivating. Yeah.
That's what kept me going. At that moment was the gym. Remember, I didn't play sports in like years. So I just, got, my dad was telling me, he's like, do something else that you love. And the other thing what I love was getting in shape, was going to the gym. So I made the gym, one of my top priorities to keep myself going.
Okay.
So that was part of it. Then my relationship with God got even stronger and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going through some things. I'm still going through it, but once I keep seeing change physically and mentally and spiritually, I was like, yo, I'm on the right track now.
Exactly.
Let me go back. But then in 2020 of March, when COVID came, the gyms were closed. We didn't have nothing to do. I had to stay home. I couldn't work. We couldn't work.
Yeah, tough time.
So it brought a little fear into me, and fear kind of kicked back then. There wasn't no church. Nothing was open. Basically, the only thing was open was like the pharmacies, the hospitals. So there was no church. I had to like really find another way. Yes, I was talking to my pastor, but it was like so much was going on. I just kept thinking, people were talking about life, the world's gonna be ending, and it was like, man, like, what else can happen? So from March of 2020, I was maybe 25, 26, something like that. I was like 26, I believe. So, fear tried to kick back in my life, and I was crying, and I was trying to get my things together, and then after they told us you have to wear a mask everywhere you go, and then after I started, and at that time I was working at Zuili. I was there for like 2 years, and then I didn't work for like a month and a half because everything was like, all the warehouses were closing down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was getting paid, but I was getting paid like 50% of what I was making each week. Okay. So I was getting a little income, so it wasn't bad, but I still couldn't go to the gym, and the gym was helping me, as my mind to like really keep going. And I remember we went to Martin's to work out at his apartment. And he had like a gym in the lobby, I believe, right? So that gave me a little hope. But I was January of that year, 2020, I was weighing like 165. So from March to maybe April or May, I gained like 20 pounds in a month and a half. Meaning like I wasn't working out. I didn't have the motivation. I let my body go, and then it was like it like depression tried to creep in.
Yeah.
And then it's like I had to try to find another way to like do things and to get me active and stuff like that. And part of that was working out with Martin and going to work out and stuff like that. So that made me like realize, okay, this is like a outlet for me to get back to what I gotta do. Then maybe a few months later, I believe stores started opening up, the gym started opening up and stuff. But then you had to wear a mask now. So when you work out, you had to wear a mask. I was like, hey, at least I go to the gym and stuff like that, right? So that's what was happening in 2020.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And just to like touch on a few things you said, like you talking about like when you gain this weight, but then when you lost it, you losing it was a big motivating factor.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show how like when we notice progress, we we become motivated, we feel more confident. And what can make it difficult for us to notice progress is when we set these goals of ours like beyond reach, where they're like almost like not impossible, but close to it. You know, they're like they're maybe unrealistic or what it may be, or whatever it may be, or they're just so large or too far out of reach that trying to make progress or trying to make change in that goal is difficult, you know. So one thing that I could say that might be helpful is having these goals that more of like, think of like you have a goal and you have objectives, you know. So just think of like breaking it down into like smaller, you know, smaller attainable, realistic mini goals, you know. So that way, you know, it's more realistic of you to achieve. And if you can do that, then the progress will
continue.
Follow. Yeah. And another thing too, though, with this gym, I know that was like a good outlet for you, you know. So, and I'm sure many people can relate to this. They have something or a way to cope, you know. They have like an outlet, right? And who's to say that outlet that you have might not be attained in the same way, because, you know, things happen and whatnot. So then you have to get creative and think of, okay, how can I get that same, you know, because we do things, the decisions we make in life, we do them for a reason, you know, even the bad decisions, you know. And I'm not gonna spend too much time on that, but everything we do, every action, there's a reason why we do it. You know, there's something that comes with it. There's some kind of benefit we get from doing it. So for you, it's this, you know, it was in that moment was the gym, you know. So like, okay, this is, you have your reason of going to the gym, and then something might get in the way of that, and then it's like, man, I can't, you know, I can't get this thing that I need and want from doing this thing. All right. Or I can't get it by doing it in this way. So now I have to think of
another way,
a different way to achieve that same, you know, that same reward or benefit I get from it. And that's exactly what you did. Okay. Like, and I think that time with COVID, like everyone was going through it, you know, like it interrupted with our lives and it changed up our routine. You know, now
like we were on like lockdown.
Everything is different, you know, and talking about anxiety, imagine how, you know, someone with the anxiety, how they're feeling, because now it's like there's so much unknown. Like, oh my goodness, like I'm used to doing these things in this way, and now things have changed. Like, oh my goodness, what do I do? You know, how do I function, right? But you gave a great example of how, like, you can take something that you do, right, or have been doing for a long time, and though it may be interrupted or interfered with, you can find an alternate way to achieve that same desired outcome. And that's exactly what you did. Okay, I can't go to the gym, it's on lockdown. Okay, well, can I do this? Can I do, or go here? Go, you know, say you went to, you know, a gym that was, you know, at another friend's house, right? Or if I'm doing maybe even a home workout. And of course, none of these are going to be the same, you know, but sometimes, you know, in life you got to work with what you have, and you have to be grateful for that, and at the end of the day you have to be accept that, you know, because it's just you're working with what you have.
Exactly. Because imagine if I didn't have the opportunity to go to someone's home to work out at their lobby or something. Imagine we didn't have that. I probably would have been up to like 200 pounds again. You know, because then the thing is, I got so lazy before we went going to our friend's house and stuff. I was getting so lazy. I was staying up late. I was eating all types of foods that was not helping me, that made me even gain more weight. And then it was like the anxiety kicked in. And then when that kicked in, it was like I didn't fall off, but then it was like I had to catch myself because I seen things that I used to do that was helping that I stayed away from. And it was crazy because I made a choice. Remember, once we make a choice and we either it's bad or it's good. If it's bad, you know, it's like it's 10% that happens, but then it's a 90% how we react to it. So then, like, you know, like where we're talking about, you know, like we make our decisions and we got to either deal if it's the good or the bad. And then, you know, I had to pay the consequences of, because I overreacted. And when you react to something, that's when, you know, more things start to happen to you.
Exactly.
So if we react in a certain way, you know, there's going to be consequences. And that's why we have the decision. You know, remember, we have the power, you know, and the power of the tongue is life and death. Whatever comes out of your mouth could be good or bad. And we have to deal, if it's bad, we have to deal with the consequences that we made the decision with. And if it's good, then good will keep coming. Yeah. But then I made that bad decision, you know, and then that's when I had to pay the consequences. Why? Because I overreacted. So the 10% is what happens, but the 90% is how you react. Exactly. So then that's what I started realizing, man. I have to make better choices and think before I say something and think before I do something. So
that's powerful.
Yeah,
I really like that. And I agree with that 100%. You know, because I know, kind of touching back on some of the other earlier points we made, like these mistakes or the mistakes we make in life. Yeah, like because we're human, we're it is what it just happens. It's our nature. I'm gonna make a mistake. You're gonna make a mistake. We all are at some point again. It might not be today, but it's just we're not perfect.
Exactly.
You know?
We're humans.
Exactly. So we're gonna make a mistake. Yeah. So we shouldn't fault ourselves for that. Yeah. But going back to your point, though we make mistakes, our response, our reaction to that mistake, is a whole nother thing, because we have choices and how we respond to that response. And some of those choices can make it worse. Some of those choices can do the opposite and make it better. So I totally agree with that, and I think that's very important, even when it comes to our thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, we can have these thoughts that come into our head, right? And some of them are just automatic. You know,
it just happens out of nowhere. It's like you don't even got. It's like you can't even control it. It just happens.
Exactly. It's just automatic. You can't really control that, right? But you can, or you have most control of how you respond to that thought. You know, and some people, when they think of something, right, think of something maybe depressing, or think of something that has like to do with anxiety, right? It's like, man, that's a bad, negative, unhealthy thought. But what are you going to do to respond to that thought? Are you going to, you know, are you, because you can then feed into that negative thought and have a bunch more negative thoughts. And then that can affect what you physically do. Like, oh man, because I'm thinking this, you know what, well, I'm not going to do this, and I'm going to do this instead. You know, because I'm just, you know, I'm feeling horrible. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm going to sit here and just isolate, stay away from everybody, you know what I mean? So now it's affecting your mental and your physical. You know, so you have ways of how you can respond, and yes, it's not easy, you know, but after, you know, time, just like with anything, when you kind of do it for so long and it becomes like a pattern, it becomes a bit more it becomes easier to you know, to practice and to do, and you know, to make a habit of it, just like with anything. So it's can be easier said than done. But just like with anything, with practice, you know, and I know I'm talking about like reframing thoughts, responding to negative thoughts. That is something that, you know, and speaking on these automatic negative thoughts, that after a while can become a pattern where, you know, when you have a negative thought, it didn't just, you know, when you think of like rumination is defined as like, you know, excessive, like an excessive or repetitive thought that you keep thinking of because you think that that's gonna like reduce or blunt this fear of uncertainty. But notice that it never does. The more you think about something, it seems like it just never goes away. You know, but that's the reason why these thoughts exist, is because we give them the time of day. You know, because we might keep thinking about it, and we dwell on it, and of course, the more you spend time doing a certain thing, the more prominent it is going to be in your life. But that works with these other good things in our life too. You know, the more time you give it, the more time it'll grow, and you'll be able to, you know, to do more with it.
I think that's why when stuff was creeping up in my life, trying to creep up back in my life, you know, I kept praying a lot, you know, in the spiritual. I could just kept praying, you know, listen to different music. Because remember, my outlet was the gym, and what helped me really get my mind together was listening to worship music, listening to Christian music and stuff like that. Because you want to fill your spirit with the word. You want to fill your spirit with praying and spending time with God. A lot of people can, you know, say they want to follow Jesus or they want to do this, do that, but then they don't do it. You know, and then that's maybe why these random thoughts come in your mind. Maybe that's why you're falling back into the patterns of your old self, or it tries to creep up in your life again, or something like that. So I believe one thing that kept me leveled, that I wasn't way up, but I wasn't low. I was just right there. I believe it was you know, finding more positivity, finding more positive things to do, not trying to stay isolated, not trying to stay in the room, you know, talk to people, interact with people and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Be positive. Don't get me wrong, we're gonna have sometimes these negative thoughts, but we have the strength to turn that around and do something positive. Because I believe if you, say instance for me, in my past, when I was like 23, I stayed in my room basically like 24/7. So I didn't go out. Even if I went out, it was probably to the gym, but then I'll go back home and stay in my room. So I isolated myself from my family. You know, I didn't talk to anybody. And then that's how the enemy could put so many bad thoughts, because you're not around anybody to talk to. So your thoughts will like keep racing. Your thoughts will keep going. And, you know, I had to do something. And that's when I had to, you know, go talk to other people. I had to, you know, talk to my parents, because I was not talking to anybody at all. And people was wondering, yo, like, where's Lex go? How Lex been and stuff like that. So at that age of 23, that's when I was just stayed in my room. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was miserable. You know, so many thoughts were coming to my mind. I think that's when I had anxiety attacks, panic attacks.
Okay.
But I believe, you know, after COVID and the gyms are open, you know, I started getting myself back together. You know, I found more hope, and, you know, the churches were open again. So that gave me more life. You know, it gave me more life, because, you know, God will always make a way in your life, no matter what is the situation, no matter what you're going through. But some people don't know how to do that, though. Some people don't know how to get out of that stage to get out your thoughts and do something that will help you with your mind. And what helped me was the gym with my mind, because I didn't go just to look good or whatever. I went for my mind as well. So if I could give one person advice of, you know, what I went through as mentally with my like depression, anxiety, and like seeing bad things and stuff like, and suicidal, is do not stay by yourself in a location that you know that is not good for you. And as well, talk to someone that you're close to, that you can talk to them and you could trust them, and it could give you positive feedback. I believe that's one of the things that helped me was, you know, talk to someone. Don't be scared to talk to someone what you're going through, because you never know, that person could maybe say something to you that could turn that light on and realize, okay, like, I could see them getting back on track and stuff like that. So I believe that talk to someone. Don't isolate yourself. So when you talk to someone, you know, open up. You know, it could be, you know, it could be your past, it could be one of your best friends, it could be your mom, your dad, etc. But talk to someone. You know, don't stay shut, because when you stay shut, a lot of bad things go through your mind, and sometimes people don't know how to control that. But you can control it by talking to somebody. You know, if you could talk to someone, let your feelings out, let how you feel out, because when you do that, you're gonna get something positive back, you know, from the conversation with that person, or, you know, or you listen to music and your music is your outlet to like really, because some people listen to, I listen to worship music because it calms my spirit, it gets me in focus, it gets me like ready to, you know, go on to the next thing. So I believe that if you talk to someone and you know, they could talk to you in a spiritual way or they could talk to you in the mental way, but talk to somebody because you don't want to stay shut. You want to be there to, you know, be talkative. Sometimes I talk too much and people are like, yo bro, can you just like chill a little bit? But like the thing is that before I didn't talk to a lot of people, you know, so now that I found this outlet in this relationship with Jesus, I'm nonstop talking. You know, I'm talking to people about Jesus. I'm talking to people I don't even know, and I talk to them about Jesus because God's like, yo, like, talk to this person because they gotta know who I am, that I have a plan for their life. So that, you know, we'll touch more on that, but I know you have another question you want to ask me before we get into the present and then what in the stuff like that. So
I appreciate you actually talking about that because I know we've been talking about like more of like the physical, mental, spiritual, and I totally forgot about social. You know what I mean? So that's something you just touched on, you know, in a very important area of our life is our social life, you know, like who's around us, who are we talking to, spending time with. That's all important because, you know, as, you know, people, networking, having relationships is a very important part of our lives, you know. And I know, you know, our lives can get busy at times with work and school or whatever it may be. But there definitely should be a time where we have, you know, periods where we, you know, spend time with those that we love, whether it be family, friends, because, you know, that's a very important aspect of our lives. You know, I think you know, as humans we're social creatures, social
and we
beings.
Should be, you know, we should be like that because you know, I remember when I was going through, you know, back in like what 2017, like 2017, you know, I remember you reaching out to me and say, yo, like, you know, you could come by to the crib, you know, we could chill and stuff like that. You know, that's an outlet of me not, you know, staying home, and I could just go out and, you know, enjoy yourself for the night and talk to those people that you love and that they care about you and stuff. So, you know, if I didn't get no one to hit me up, I probably would have been more down than I was at that moment. But when someone hits you up and they be like, yo, like, you know, you could come over, you know, we could talk, we could chill, you know, have fun. So a lot of people, when they're going through what they're going through, most of the time they don't do it because they're so stuck in their mind. And, you know, maybe it's like they don't want people to know what they're going through. Or maybe, because with me, it's like, I really didn't mind what people knew I went through because it didn't affect me. You know, it made me more realize is that, so what will people think about you or what they know, whatever the case may be. But the thing is that God will make you brand new, you know, and then, you know, you'll do things different. You don't move the way that you used to. So I was realizing that, you know, I had to change for the better, you know, because, you know, even though, you know, God has blessed me with a good job and blessed me with people that really admire me and care about me. And sometimes some people can't even do that when they're in that mental stage because it's like so much is going on and they don't even want to be bothered and stuff like that.
They can't even take care of themselves.
So like their mind is like all over the place. But then it's like, you know, once you have that one person or multiple people come to you, you know, that shows that they care about you. That shows that they love you because they care about your mental. They care about how you feel. You know, they want you to be good and stuff like that. So one of those people was you, because even though I was going through, you had me come out my house and really go out and do stuff. And I wasn't doing that before because it was like, you know, I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want none of that. But I said to myself, if I keep staying home and not doing nothing, not interacting with anybody, how am I gonna better myself?
Yeah, yeah.
So part of that
That's
was,
true.
being with the right people and stuff like that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So where are we at? We're at hour 17. So what I'm thinking now is, so I know what 2024 coming into that new year, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking of actually to like to wrap the interview up.
Yeah.
What I want us to do, or what would like you to do is, so two things. One, what are some things or advice you would like to give people heading into the new year? Okay.
Yeah.
So that, I'm kind of giving you like freedom to speak whatever you feel is necessary, right? And then aside from that, just any like general final comments about maybe anything we talked about or things that maybe you didn't get to speak on just yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. So we're about to be in 2024 in about 2 days, I believe, or a day or so. 2 days.
Yeah.
So, I believe 2024, as the Lord leads me, I believe that there's going to be more breakthroughs, there's going to be more healing, more finance for people. I believe that God's going to do a mighty thing. I believe that God's going to do something in many people's lives that maybe they need to see and stuff like that. And I know that, like for me, that in 2024 God wants me to speak to more people, about Jesus and talk to them, and because remember, maybe 2023 wasn't their year, and maybe 2024 could be a start of new blessings and stuff like that. So some people need that extra push in 2024. Maybe they're thinking like, I want to build my relationship with Jesus, or they could say that I want to find a new job that fits me or something like that. So what I would say is that God would never make a mistake, and what is for you is only for you. Like, meaning, if God gives you a plan, like for instance, God gives you a plan and he says that, you're going to do things that you didn't do in 2023, meaning you're going to be a brand new you. And the part of the reason why I said new year, new you is because when I believe the reason why, like I could talk about this, I cut my hair and my facial hair and stuff like that is because I want to bring a new me in 2024. And, you should want better for 2024 for yourself, for your family, for even your close friends, I mean, even your loved ones. And, one thing that I know, God has for you, I know he gave me a word, and I told you that he got me a word for you, is that he wants all of you. I mean, in 2024, he wants you to do things different. He doesn't want you to do the same things you did in your past. Remember, our past doesn't define who we are in our present, our future. So there's always room for improvement. There's always room for healing, and to really know that, if I went through what I went through and I made it out, man, anybody else can do it, But yes, it takes time, takes patience. Remember, not everything's gonna happen how you want it to happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes God would test our faith and trust in him to see what level we're at in our life. Meaning like, is our life is our faith increasing, or did it go down? So God will give us some tests so he could see where's our faith and trust. And I believe that, you have, like I told you, you have a beautiful family, man. You have a good career, that you helping other people at your job and just doing things that people should do in 2024. So what I'm saying is, don't stop what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting more positive habits in your life, and try to be a better you each and every day, and don't think about yesterday or how you think, oh man, I wish I did this yesterday. But remember, God, if we wake up, we are blessed because we have another opportunity to be better than we was yesterday.
Right.
So for me, I don't try to look into the past. Only you can look into the past to share testimony and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I say this is why, because if you're tested and you pass that test, you have a testimony. But then if you're getting tested and you pass that test, God's gonna keep seeing where you at in life until you pass that test. Because my story's not gonna be the same. You know, our stories change all the time. Mm-hmm. And I believe from when I was 23 to now I'm 30. So I passed so many tests. That's why now I know more knowledge and more about my relationship with God than I did when I was 23. You know, I speak different, I talk different, I act different. I don't be around certain people like I used to, you know, because sometimes, you know, their energy doesn't match your energy that you want to better yourself. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we can say, you know, you have love for them. You can say, you know, you want the best for them. But, you know, you have to do what's best for you. And that is in 2024 is to, you know, be around your loved ones, be around your family, be around people that really care about you. Because sometimes, you know, obviously the devil is mad that we're doing great things for ourselves and for God and stuff like that. And yes, there are going to be times they're going to go through trials and tribulations in life, but that doesn't mean you're back at square. Like we talked about, you're not back in square one. You know, you're still where you were at and you're a better place. It's just you're gonna pass this test to really go into the next level in your life and stuff like that. Yeah. And I believe that 2024 is gonna be breakthrough. I believe 2024 is gonna be healing. I believe it's gonna be more finance for many, many people. I believe that God got a plan for your life, for your family, your beautiful kids. You know, it doesn't stop here. God is telling me to tell you it doesn't stop here. There's more blessings coming. There's more miracles coming into your life. And the reason why I know this, because one, I never spoke like this to anyone. You know, I'm starting to speak to more people, you know. And one thing I always do is I speak Bible verses over my life. So what I do is, like, I say a couple, you know, God did not give me a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. You know, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That no weapon formed against me will prosper. That I am more than a conqueror. And one of them that stand out to me that I love is Romans 12:2. It says, "Do not be condemned to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." So whatever is happening in the world, whatever people are doing, don't follow that trend. You know, God gave you a new mind, you know, a new mindset, new goals, and He wants you to do stuff different. So He doesn't want you to do stuff of what people are doing in the world, but He wants you to do things that will benefit you to better your life and do things new. You know, to be uncomfortable, because the only way we grow is being uncomfortable. That's true. So a lot of people sometimes they don't grow because they're so comfortable what they're doing. Exactly. And it's like, man, God is trying to make you move, get out that comfort zone. So that's what God is doing with me. God wants me to talk to people I don't know about Jesus. Okay. You know, so what I was doing is, like, every time I go to the gym, I at least talk to one person. Like, for instance, I was talking to a person named Machino. So I never met this man before. He's 23. I never met him before. And the thing was that, you know, I was working out and God's like, speak to the man behind you. I'm like, you want me to speak to him now? And he was like, yeah, speak to him now. So then it's like, I complimented him, like, yo, you look good, man. Keep it up. You know, keep doing your thing. And then I was like, you know, I really don't talk about this a lot, but, you know, do you believe in God? He's like, yeah, I believe in God. I was like, all right, cool. So that gave me the go button to, like, okay, let me talk to him about Jesus and stuff like that. So I was like, yo, you know, God has a plan for your life, and He's gonna do something that you probably never experienced before. I believe in 2024, He's gonna bless you in so many ways. You know what He said back to me? He was like, it's crazy you talk about that, because I prayed last night to God give me guidance and direction. You came into my life and saying this. So it gave him confirmation. And that made me feel good, but, like, not good for me, but good for God, because God wanted me to talk to Him. So now that I did talk to Him, it gave him confirmation that there is a God, that God will make a way in his life. And as you just prayed that last night for guidance and direction of where to go and stuff like that. And for me to talk to him about God, that gave him the confirmation of saying, man, like, I needed this.
Yeah.
So then, it's a blessing, it's a blessing to talk to people about God, because remember, we came into this world to share the gospel, to tell people about Jesus. Yes, you can have fun in the world and do this, but do it the right way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that want to have fun, but it leads to sin. Then they do things that they regret. Meaning, people could be smoking and drinking, and what is a bad thing happen, and then it gives them a life threatening, or anything can happen.
Yeah.
So once I started understanding more and more who I am each and every day, I don't do it for me, but I do it for God, because God made a way in my life, so he can make a way in your life. He can make a way in your wife's life, your kid's life. So, that's why when I called you to one day, I'm like, yo, like, God has so many plans for you, man. Like, you doing, when we talked about you talk about the YouTube channel and doing this and stuff like that. I said, bro, you're going to reach so many souls, but we're just help talking about mental, talking about the spiritual, talking about emotional, and the social. Talking about all these things will bring a lot of people closer to your platform. And that's when I was like, I spoke life into you, because I'm saying, yo, you keep doing this, God's going to bless you. You keep doing what you're doing, God's going to show you things to get you more motivated, more hungry to keep going. And that's why I know that when we were having this interview, I was like, God was like, you gotta tell him that I have a plan for his life. So no matter what you did in your past, no matter what you went through, it doesn't make you who you are today. God has a plan for your life. And the thing is that he wants all of you, meaning in 2024, he wants you to do things different. He wants you to talk different. He wants you to act different. He wants your attitude to be different. He wants you to do things that you're uncomfortable with, to have you grow to be a better Julian.
Okay.
So I believe that he's going to do that for so many people. I believe he's going to do that to you. The same way he's helping me, he's going to help you. And then you're going to pass that along and help other people. And I believe this platform that you're doing, is going to bring many people to your attention. There's going to be people hitting you up. There's going to be people like, yo, like, I love your platform. I love what you're doing, because we need more of that.
Yeah.
And that's what we do need. Because if you notice, there's a lot of people doing YouTube, but it's not helping other people. It's just, you're just doing it just to, but you're doing something to help people, with mental, to help people with their spiritual life, their social life, their physical as well. So I'm glad we touched up on all of this, because mind you, I never did an interview on camera like this, so like this is all new to me. So in the beginning, yes, I was kind of nervous, but as I kept going, we kept talking. One thing is, I'm not scared to talk about my past, because I don't care what people say about me. They could say whatever, but the only one that could judge me is God, So I'm glad we talked about this, because it opened me up to understand, like, man, if we open up to one another about our mental, talk about what we're going through, that will help other people to open up, other men especially, because there's a lot of men that they don't open up about their mental, because they're scared of what people will think about them. But I'm here to tell you that in 2024, go for it. If you want a new job, go for it. If you got a goal you want to do, go for it. Because in 2024, God's going to release a lot of blessings and breakthroughs and healings through everybody. And he wants us to know that he is the way, the truth, and the life. Without Jesus, we're nothing. And I'm not just going to say Jesus, because there's people that believe in other religions, but I'm not going into that, but just what I believe in. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And he did so many things in my life that I could have been dead already years ago, but he did not forget about me. Same way he didn't forget about you. The same way he didn't forget about your kids, your wife, your mom, your family, your sister. So, he always has a plan, and no one can break his plan for your life. So it's someone trying to bash you for, instance, you're doing YouTube and someone's to say, oh, I think you should stop that because it's not helping no one. That's false. Because you're doing something that's going to help other people, and the thing is that don't let people in 2024 tell you things that are trying to take you away from this platform. Yeah, because you doing this platform is going to help so many souls. And the more we talk about the spiritual, the more we talk about the mental, men will open up more about their struggles, about their depression, about their anxieties and stuff like that. So they'll open up. And I believe me talking about my life and everything I went through, it'll help someone out in the world that sees this. Yeah. And they'll be like, man, I needed to hear this because I'm going through this, and this man is talking about God. This man is talking about what he went through in his past, and he made it out. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's some things sometimes we go through, but it's part of our journey, our relationship with God. So it's part of it. Yeah. But the thing is that we don't back down. If we get knocked down 7 times, we get up back the eighth time. So a lot of people, when they get knocked down, sometimes they just be like, they quit right away because they're tired of going through the same things and stuff like that. But what I tell you is that if you get knocked down, get right back up. Don't stay down, because then the devil will try to use that into the devil comes to kill. He comes to kill, destroy, and there's 3 of them that he tries to do. And the thing is that he tries to ruin by your thoughts, putting stuff in your thoughts, suggestions, ideas. Then he tries to destroy your future, and then he wants to kill you. He doesn't want you to fulfill the blessings and miracles that God has for your life. So that's why I got attacked so much, because I got something inside me that he doesn't want me to see, because God has a blessing for me. The same way he has it for you as well. God has a blessing for you too and your family. So people got to realize that if you're getting attacked spiritually, it's because you have something great inside you that the devil is jealous about, that you have, that he doesn't have. Yeah. So when you're going through something, realize, put your attention is start praying more. If God wants you, saying if you have a Bible, if you have the app, read it. What helps me is listen to worship music. The more I listen to worship music, I get my spirit is calm. I get myself together. I'm worshiping, I'm praying. Me going to church is helping me out. So me doing all these things is what made me the man I am today. So I'm 30 years old now, and remember, we're not gonna get any younger. So we're gonna get older, we're gonna get more wisdom, more knowledge. We're gonna know things more as we get older each and every day, that we put ourselves first. The thing is that it's not selfish putting yourself first, because you gotta take care of yourself first before you take care of someone else. Absolutely. So when you take care of yourself first, you're able to take care of whoever that's out there. Yep. So I believe that you protect your mental, you protect your mind, protect what thoughts come in, because you could push those thoughts out and move them out of your life and put positive thoughts in your mind. Meaning, it could be goals, or it could be listen to music that gets you in the right state of mind of getting yourself together and stuff like that. So I believe, guys, whoever is watching this, I believe in 2024, God is going to do a mighty, mighty thing in your life. Do not quit. Do not give up. When things get hard, let God use you. Let God use you to better yourself, to better your future, to better your family, to better your kids. Be that number one person in your life that God can use you, so he can use other people as well, from what your testimony could be, from what you went through in your past. But don't let the devil take away your joy. Don't let the devil take away your passion for doing something that you want to do. So you have power inside you. You got strength inside you. And I speak life into whoever's watching, because I know that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one can go through the Father except through Jesus. So I know God is going to do a blessing in 2024 for all that's watching. And I'm grateful for this opportunity, for Julian, for having me here today. This is a blessing for me. This is something that is going to always be in my heart, be in my life. And I could look through this, I could see this video, and it could bring so much joy to me. Because you know, as us men, we have to open up more. You know, we have to open up, talk to someone that cares about you, talk to someone so you can get the help that you need. You know, because, you know, yes, I went through so much in my life, but it didn't stop me. I got more power, more strength, more knowledge. You know, I know more things now than I did 7 years ago. So the goal is to be better yourself each day, one day at a time. Take one day at a time, and I believe that God will do a mighty, mighty thing in your life. You know, what I do is one of my platforms that I do for Instagram. You know, if you want to follow me, it's Lex the Preacher 93. You know, if you guys want to follow me, all I do there is I post things about God, my relationship with God. I do live videos every Sunday around 8 o'clock, 9 in the morning. So if you guys need someone that you need prayer, if you need prayer, I'll pray for you. You know, you'll be in my prayers. But man, 2024 is a breakthrough. 2024 is more blessings and miracles. You know, it's time to take up the cross daily and walk every day with the cross, meaning your flesh is dead, but your spirit is alive for Jesus, for God. So please, guys, especially for men that's watching this, do not stay shut. And please talk to someone if you have a mental health issue. If you're going through something, talk to somebody, because you never know so that person could help you to come out of that shell, to come out of that depression and anxiety just by talking to that one person. So I believe he has a plan for your life in 2024, and I believe you're gonna do a mighty thing in your life. And I'm gonna say this again, do not quit, guys. Keep going. When things get hard, keep going. When things get are good, keep going. You know, if things get a little confusing, keep going. Trust in God, and I believe you trust in God, things will come in your life, come into the light, and you will be unstoppable in 2024.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Man.
Word. Yeah, all right. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, your time, everything. I'm gonna make sure I include your info.
Yeah.
So people can tap into that too. So I'm including like the description, so that way people can, you know, connect with you, and if they need it, you know, got questions or whatever it is, they can come to you. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, you know, this is you know, a relationship that we have that we can, you know, connect with other people. You know what I mean? So like, I'm more than welcome to, you know, answer, you know, questions or, you know, within my experience, and I'm sure you would, you know, be willing to do the same. So that was, you know, that was excellent, beautiful, great. You know, I can't, you know, so touched on a little bit of everything. I like that. So yeah, I mean, that concludes this video here. Again, my name's Julian.
I'm Lex.
This is Mind Over Bank. Thank you all for watching, and make sure you you know,
you gotta follow the page, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man.
All of that. So thank you all again. Alrighty.
God bless you all. You know, 2024 is on the way.
That's right.
Keep being blessed. Do what God wants you to do, and I guarantee you're gonna have a breakthrough year.
That's right. All right. We out.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it.